All right, so I'll call this meeting to order. This public information meeting on September 16th, 2020. I'll start with roll call. And we have Councillor Bailey.
Present.
Councillor Bulmer. Here. Councillor Guida.
Present.
And Councillor Sapoulis.
Present.
I'm obviously here. The purpose of this public meeting is to inform and provide the public with the opportunity to ask questions or to express views with respect to the proposed user fee and charges bylaw. Councillors are here to observe and listen to your comments. However, they will not make any decisions this evening. Township requests that you notify by email Mary Hassan at mhassan@puslinch.ca or by phone at 519-763-1226, extension 222, if you wish to be on record regarding this matter. Please note the meeting is video and audio recorded, and all electronic meetings are uploaded to the municipality's YouTube page. By registering to participate in the meeting by electronic means, you are consenting to have your likeness and comments recorded and posted on YouTube. Format of this public meeting is as follows. Township staff will present the purpose and details of the public meeting and any further relevant information. Following this, the public can obtain clarification, ask questions, and express their views. Staff will attempt to answer questions or respond to concerns this evening. If this is not possible, staff will follow up and obtain this information. Responses will be provided when this matter is brought forward and evaluated by council at a later date. And I will hand it over to Ms. Hassan for her presentation.
Thank you. So I'm just going to attempt to share my screen with the presentation. So just one moment, please. Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the main objectives of tonight's meeting are to inform public about the township's finances and the 2021 proposed user fees and charges, and to receive feedback that staff and council consider before we finalize the user fees and charges bylaw. We will hold questions until the end of the presentation. This slide just quickly shows where the township's revenues come from. As you can see on the slide, property taxes make up 66% of the township's revenues. User fees, licenses, and fines make up 13%. Grants and other recoveries are 8%. Payments in lieu of taxes and other levies are 9%, and penalties and interest are 4%. So user fees are an important input into the operating budget. So staff have already started preparing budget development. We started that in August and we're continuing it in September. Today is our public meeting, and a lot of the information that comes out of the user fees and charges bylaw is inputted in our operating budget as part of our recoveries and user fees. September 23rd, currently we have our first draft of our capital budget to council. On October 28th, 2020, we're presenting the first draft of the operating budget to council. In November, we're going to be presenting an updated draft of the capital and operating budget to council, with the hopes of going to the public for budget input in January 2021, and with final council budget approval in February 2021. The primary reason that we collect user fees is to allocate costs to the users for the services. Most services are not full cost recovery, and the share of the recovery depends on fair market costs and the service level set by council. The building department is legislatively mandated to be fully funded from building permit fees, and the Planning Act also stipulates that planning application fees be designed to meet only the anticipated costs to the township. So the next few slides are going to outline the proposed changes to the fees by each department. Many of the fees have already been automatically adjusted by the Consumer Price Index inflation rate 1.7%. And the changes that have been proposed are to better reflect the cost for providing the service. We also look at comparator municipalities to determine whether our fees are in line with those other municipalities. And as I previously indicated, we also look at the Consumer Price Index inflation rate. So in the administration department, we've recommended that we establish a routine disclosure fee in the amount of $7.50 per routine disclosure request. This cost has been determined based on some of our comparator municipality data. And so it's to search for such records such as building drawings, septic drawings, surveys, occupancy permits, and other records that individual requests. And the purpose of the fee is to recover the costs associated with this service in lieu of addressing the routine disclosure through a freedom of information process. We've also established a fee for third-party cost recovery, which includes costs the township has to pay to retain specialists. So for example, engineers, hydrogeological or environmental specialists, in order to review the necessary materials. And then, so the purpose of this fee is to invoice the actual costs incurred plus an administration fee of $100. The Public Works Department, we've always had an entrance permit fee, but we've recommended that we also include 2 additional categories for entrance permits. One category includes an entrance permit for a farm, and another category includes an entrance permit for a temporary residence. So we've looked at some of the comparator municipality fees for entrance permits, and the purpose of this having these 2 additional categories is for cost recovery purposes and based on the varying requirements for the various types of entrance permits. And it's in accordance with the recent bylaw that we passed as it relates to entrance permits. So in our Fire and Rescue Services Department, we do have fees in that department based on the standard Ministry of Transportation rate, and that rate has increased from $477 to $485 in 2020. And so we're just recommending that the fire and rescue service rates that are based on the per hour per truck rate also be increased in accordance with the Ministry of Transportation's increase to these rates. So as I indicated in the administration department, we're recommending that the same type of fee be incorporated in the building department for third-party cost recoveries. The planning and development department, we're just recommending that we establish a 2-tier fee structure for compliance letter requests. We've always had a compliance letter fee, but we're just recommending that it be type 1 and a type 2 request. And this just is to recover the costs associated with the service and to differentiate between the types of compliance letter requests that the township receives. We're also recommending that we establish the third-party cost recovery fee that I previously indicated in the administration and building departments, also in the planning and development area. In the bylaw cost center, we're recommending that our municipal addressing sign and municipal addressing post costs fees be increased just in order to recoup those costs from the third-party supplier that we're not now purchasing these posts from. And again, similar to planning, building, and administration, we're recommending that we also establish a third-party cost recovery fee in our bylaw cost center. So these are the only changes to the fee structure. So I would welcome any questions or comments from the public at this time.
Thank you, Mary. And I'll ask Ms. Whitebox to see if there's any participants that wish to have any questions.
Okay, Mary, if you wouldn't mind just closing your shared screen, and then I can just check for the attendees.
Okay.
So we have one attendee, and I'll just unmute Jamie and see if she has any comments.
I don't have any questions at this time. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. I declare this, there isn't anybody else, right? It's just Jamie. So I
Yes.
declare this public meeting closed. Council will take no action on this matter tonight. Staff will be reporting at a later date with a recommendation for council's consideration. If you wish to receive further notification on this matter, notify by email Mary Hassan at mhassan@pluslunch.ca or by phone at 519-763-1226, extension 222. Only those persons who leave their names will be provided further notification. If you wish to speak to the matter when it is brought before council in the future, you must register as a delegation with the township clerk prior to the meeting. Kabang, adjourned.